The United States has shot down the Chinese balloon that's been flying high over the U.S. for the last several days, creating a diplomatic and political storm. The Pentagon says it was a platform for espionage. China now warns there may be repercussions over the downing of what it insists was nothing more than a civilian weather balloon blown off course.
After floating across the US for days, the suspected Chinese spy balloon has been shot down off the coast of South Carolina. Several airports were shut and airspace closed before the balloon was brought down by military fighter jets, landing 11 kilometers off the US mainland. US President Joe Biden said he ordered the balloon to be downed as soon as it could be done so safely.
On Wednesday, when I was briefed on the balloon, I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided without doing damage to anyone on the ground. They successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators who did it, and we'll have more to report on this a little later.
China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs condemned the shooting down of the balloon that it maintains was a civilian airship. Beijing previously said it regretted its entry into US airspace.
Well, good afternoon, everybody.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken cancelled a trip to China following its discovery. The balloon may be neutralized, but the fallout has further soured already fraught diplomatic relations between China and the United States.
Let's go live to DW East Asia correspondent William Young in Taipei. William, what's China's reaction to the U.S.'s downing its balloon?
So the Chinese condemned the shot down of the balloon as an overreaction from the United States, as they continue to stick to the line that it is merely a civilian balloon that is of scientific nature. And I think this really just shows that both sides are not backing down because they are required by domestic expectations to maintain and operate from a position of strength rather than showing any weakness. So following the initial reaction that they say they regret the balloon have fly into the U.S. airspace, they are now sticking to their original stance and their rhetorics, and they are really adopting a very tough stance and not trying to show any sign of weakness.
As you well know, China says it may take further actions, as they put it. What might those actions be?
I think that would really depend on the ongoing investigation that the U.S. Congress had already ordered, and also the findings that are going to come out of the United States. And as we know, inside the United States, the domestic rhetoric and the atmosphere right now is being very critical of the government's handling of it. And also there's a lot of skepticism of the purpose of this balloon. So as we know more from what the United States findings will be, I think Beijing is going to calculate about what are the proper measures for them to ensure that they don't show any sign of weakness, and then at the same time, they're not backing down from their original stance.
From your perspective there in Asia, how will this affect the already delicate relationship between the U.S. and China?
I think this is really a big blow to the efforts that were leading up to Blinken's visit. As we know, over the last few months, both sides are trying to negotiate and open up communication. Even though Blinken and Wang Yi, the top Chinese diplomat, continue to have dialogue and calls over this incident, but it is basically putting all the efforts over since last November back to ground zero, and then it's going to take a lot for them to restart any kind of dialogue and possible visits in the following months.
Many thanks, William. That was William Young in Taipei.
Thank you.